Let's be honest. We all want this new year to actually be different, right? Not just another 12 months that feel exactly like the last. Well, today, we're going to dig into 6 principles from Jesus, timeless ideas that can give us a real roadmap for making that happen.
Does this feel familiar? Every year, it's the same thing for so many of us. We tell ourselves, this is the year. We set new goals, we make big promises. But then, a few weeks in, bam. The same old habits, the same old stresses, they're right back in the driver's seat. It is such a frustrating cycle. And you know what? It's a problem Jesus talked about directly.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down exactly why our New Year's end up feeling like a rerun. Then, we'll dive into the first 3 lessons, which are all about mastering your inner world. After that, we'll look at 3 super practical lessons for building a life that can actually withstand some shaking. And finally, we'll get to the most important part, the one step you can take today.
Okay, so here's the core of the problem. We usually try to fix our lives from the outside in. We change our jobs, we change our routines, we try to build new habits. But Jesus taught that real, lasting change, the kind that sticks, it always starts on the inside.
This really says it all, doesn't it? You can change your city, get a new job, even hang out with different people. But if your inner world, your heart, is still packed with anxiety or bitterness or distraction, well, you're just carrying the same old baggage to a new address. The change has to start deeper.
So let's do it. Let's get into that deeper work with these first 3 foundational lessons. Think of this as getting the bedrock right, because it's all about mastering our thoughts, our emotions, and what we prioritize.
And Lesson 1 kicks off right here. The starting point for any real, meaningful change is the heart. This isn't just some poetic idea. Jesus laid this out as the absolute fundamental first step. Now, this is so important to get. A pure heart doesn't mean you're perfect or you never mess up. Not at all. It means your heart is focused. It's undivided. When your heart is aligned with one clear thing, with God, it's amazing how much simpler decisions get and how the noise of a chaotic life just starts to die down. All right, Lesson 2. This one hits right at one of our biggest modern struggles, anxiety. Jesus' advice here is so simple but so hard. Stop the exhausting mental game of living in a future that hasn't even happened yet.
And look at the difference here. It's night and day. When we live in tomorrow, we're stressing about things that might not even happen, carrying weights we were never designed to carry, and it just robs today of its peace. But Jesus taught this daily rhythm. Just be obedient in what's in front of you today and trust God with tomorrow. It leads to such a lighter, more present way of living.
And you know, that really flows right into lesson number 3, which is all about getting your priorities straight. Jesus was so clear that a lot of our stress and frustration doesn't come from a lack of effort, but from having our priorities totally out of whack. I mean, just look at this pattern. It's so true. When success becomes your number one thing, peace just evaporates. When you make pleasing people your main goal, you become a slave to their approval. And when you prioritize comfort above all else, well, you just stop growing. But look at that last one. When God is first, decisions get simpler, stress loses its power. It's not about hustling harder, it's about aligning better. Okay, so once that internal foundation is getting sorted out, then we can shift our focus. Now we can start talking about the external actions, the things we do, that build a life that is genuinely unshakable.
Lesson 4 gives us this incredible metaphor. Jesus basically says, look, storms are gonna come for everybody. That's a guarantee. But what makes the difference isn't just hearing his words, it's actually putting them into practice.
And right here, this is the whole thing. Listening to good advice feels productive, right? But on its own, it changes absolutely nothing. Information doesn't hold you up when life hits you hard. Obedience does. Storms don't test how much you know. They reveal what you've actually built your life on.
Now, lesson 5. This one might be the most challenging of them all. Jesus totally flipped the script on love. He commands it not as some warm, fuzzy feeling, but as a daily, conscious, intentional decision. And the standard he set? Whoa, love other people the same way he loved us. And this is what that love actually looks like. It's not about feelings, it's about choices. It's choosing to be patient when someone insults you. It's showing kindness when you're being completely ignored. It's serving when you know you'll get zero credit for it. This kind of love, it requires us to surrender our pride and our ego pretty much every single day.
Which brings us to our final and absolutely critical lesson. Jesus never ever treated forgiveness like it was an optional extra. He knew the massive impact it has, not on the other person, but on the one who is doing the forgiving.
Man, just let that sink in for a second. It is so powerful because it is so true. Unforgiveness doesn't really punish the other person, it traps you. Bitterness becomes a slow poison to your own soul, and holding on to that grudge gives the past total control over your present and your future.
And let's be super clear. Forgiveness is not saying, "Oh, what you did was fine, no way." It's a declaration. It's you saying, "I refuse to carry the weight of what you did anymore." It's a choice you make, sometimes every day, to let go of that memory's power so you can reclaim your own peace.
So there we have it, 6 incredibly powerful principles. The final crucial step is to move from just knowing this stuff to actually living it.
And look, this isn't some new self-help fad that might be gone next year. The question isn't whether these teachings work. They've been radically changing people's lives for more than 2,000 years. The real question is for us.
And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. This whole thing isn't about becoming a trivia champion of the Bible. It's about obedience. It's just about taking the next right step, no matter how small it feels, and actually applying what you've just heard to your real life.
So that leaves us with this one final question. Not which one will you think about or maybe plan to start next month. Which one of these 6 principles are you going to choose to start living today? Because that one single obedience step, that's how a different year actually begins.